Sisters and brothers, welcome to the evening session of Being Heartful Every Day with Swadhyaya. We are covering the theme of this week, which is the flute through which the divine sings. And today we turn our attention to a subtle yet essential shift on the path, which is the quiet fading of the personal doership, where actions continue, yet the sense of I am doing gradually loosens. In heartfulness, this is not something we try to achieve. It unfolds naturally as the heart becomes simpler, purer, and more aligned with the divine current flowing through life. A flute does not claim ownership of the melody. It does not decide the tune, nor does it take the credit for the music that flows through it. Its beauty lies in self effacement, in allowing something higher to express itself without interference. In the spiritual journey, this effacement does not mean passivity or withdrawal from life. Rather, it reflects a shift in inner identity from being the doer to being the instrument. Through regular meditation and cleaning, the weight of ego, subtle pride, self reference, and the need for validation gradually thins out. Actions continue, responsibilities remain, but the inner stance changes. Work feels less burdensome, outcomes feel less personal, and success and failure lose their sharp edges. This is the beginning of true freedom. Life flows more smoothly when the heart no longer insists on control but cooperates with the divine will moving through it. In our abhyas, the state reveals itself when effort quietly dissolves. Meditation becomes less about doing it right and more about allowing. We sit, we remain open, and we trust transmission to work at depths beyond. In daily life, this effacement shows up as humility without self consciousness. One acts sincerely yet remains inwardly light. Dear sisters and brothers, as we move ahead in the session, we gently request you to extend the invitation of the master classes and the BHED sessions with your near and dear ones. The journey of inner refinement gains strength when shared with others. You'll find the additional reading material on this theme, which is available on the Heartfulness app under the tab 1st February. And you'll also find the videos of Revert Daji on this theme. So you are encouraged to explore this material when you have some time. We will do the inspirational reading today, and this is from one of the reading materials which is also available on this theme on the Heartfulness app, titled Being with the Guide by beloved Daji, dated September 1st, 2025. I hope you all are able to see the screen. So let us read this article together. Daji maps the evolving relationship between guide and seeker through stages of recognition, resistance, and surrender, showing how what begins as external guidance must ultimately awaken as an inner connection to the divine. A fundamental truth of walking the spiritual path is that one must find oneself. A capable guide, a living guide, is a crucial factor in spiritual evolution, as without someone to help us, we struggle to transcend our limitations. For a long time, most of us have been pushing ourselves from within, but an external push is also needed. There is a limit to what we can achieve on our own, and we become to realize that this is a field in which we need guidance to progress. In the heartfulness system, nature has ensured the continuous presence of a living guide amongst us since the time of Lalaji Maharaj, the system's founder. Saints from the past life on through their teachings and works have guided us through light a dark room. A guide from ages past cannot help you transform yourself now. Once you have recognized your guide, It is natural to wonder about the extent to which you need to interact with them. The relationship does not depend on human level contact, yet it is enormously beneficial to meet your guide at least once in your lifetime. If your attitude is correct, once may even be enough. You don't have to shake the guide's hand or even converse. Still, if you are receptive and present around them even once, your entire spiritual journey can be plotted out in that one meeting. Beyond that, any encounter can be considered a bonus. We need not follow the guide around as often happens. We don't need to worship the guide. So many people believe that the guide's physical being contains the ultimate source, and that by worshipping him, they will somehow siphon off some of that power into themselves. What we fail to remember is that the source is elsewhere and nowhere. The only place you will find it is within yourself. The purpose of your guide is to lead you to the inner self. Who is a real guide? Most people struggle with identifying a capable guide. A true spiritual guide is a giver, whereas most of them today seems to be receivers. They expect some form of guru dakshina, traditional fees. They enjoy being worshipped. They want to be followed and revered. These days, if a man wear ochre robes or displays a knowledge of ancient texts and speaks some wise words, he becomes a guru. Ultimately, a guru's primary responsibility is the spiritual progress of each disciple under his care. If he fails to carry out his responsibilities, whether due to inability or unwillingness, I believe nature will hold him accountable. So, what makes a real guide? Babuji Maharaj has defined two essential traits: that a worthy guide is someone who possesses the power to transmit their own force for the transformation of man, and also someone in whose physical company you immediately begin to experience a state of peace. For example, in my own experiences with Babuji, he never carried himself as a master. He always seemed to regard himself as someone insignificant with absolute humility. I saw a similar attitude in Chariji. He would only ever describe himself as a disciple of Bapuji. Contrary to know how many self-proclaimed gurus comport themselves, a real one considers himself a servant. It was clear from Babuji's example that a real master can never entertain the notion that he is. In fact, a master for this paradoxically renders him unfit for the job. A true guide must be capable of taking you not just to moksha, liberation, but far beyond, toward higher states of consciousness and realization. It is the guide who carries the seeker across inner obstacles that cannot be overcome alone. Even at the highest stages where surrender becomes complete, the seeker may start to feel inertia and lose the desire to progress. Here, the guide reappears to take the seeker forward gently. This journey is fueled by yogic transmission, of which the guide is the custodian. Yet, a single reception of divine grace can accomplish what countless transmissions may not. Grace is subtle, powerful, and must be experienced to be understood. Dear sisters and brothers, let us take a pause from the reading and prepare ourselves to offer the universal prayer together. All brothers and sisters are being filled with love and devotion, and real faith is growing stronger in them. सभी भाई बहन प्रेम और भक्ति से भर रहे हैं और उनमें सच्ची श्रद्धा दृढ़ होती जा रही है। May this offering of universal prayer unites all the hearts with love and harmony. Dear sisters and brothers, as you prepare for the rest tonight, take a few moments to offer the bedtime prayer and the reflections of the day. Dear sisters and brothers, thank you for joining this evening session. And as we continue this theme, may our hearts grow increasingly free of self reference, light, humble, and available, so that the divine may express itself through us without obstruction. And we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for the morning session at 6 a.m. Until then, wishing you all a very good night. Thank you.